The Kyy K3 monitor featured in today's review was provided courtesy of Kyy. Over the last year and a half, mobile working and gaming has really taken over my life. The ROG Ally has been kind of a floodgate for me, but then tablet form factor PCs like so. And even though the Asus ROG Ally has really taken over a lot of my game time, there's times where I want to hook it up to a bigger display, such as a TV, but at other times, that's not really the most viable of options, and that is when a portable monitor really comes in handy. And I was reached out to by Kyy to check out their K3 mobile monitor and see what I thought about it. And after a month of usage, I can honestly say that it holds its own, with some caveats. The Kyy K3 comes in a really big box here with a nice depiction of the Kyy screen, this interesting little display image that it has as a default. It's pretty cool. So HDMI is featured. It comes in gray or black, and then of course Kyy branding and then HDMI licensing. All four sides bear the Kyy logo, and the back gives us a nice overview of the monitor's features. This is a 15.6-inch portable monitor, uses USB Type-C and Mini HDMI. Nice list of specifications here, so we can see that it weighs about 770 grams, which is about 1.5 pounds, I believe. Screen type is IPS, 1920 by 1080 resolution, 3.5 millimeter jack for audio output, and built-in 1-watt speakers, 2 of them, so yeah, gives a nice overview, really enjoy it. But this monitor comes nicely packed, I really appreciated this. I actually repacked it just to kind of give you all an idea of what it is like to first open this up. So you get a nice little instruction booklet that goes over all of the monitor's features, connection methods, and menu options, which is really nice. But then we've got a dedicated power brick here, and actually haven't opened this yet. But you can see here, just a nice little power brick. This is 5 volt, 2.4 amp. Monitor comes nice and protected under all this foam padding here, so you just pull this up and we get our first look at the monitor. So it comes with this nice little smart cover instruction manual on how to use the smart cover as a stand. It's a magnetic covering, so it's really nice. And then again, just more quick information on how to connect it to most devices. But underneath the monitor, we got a couple more cables here. So we have in bag number 1, a USB-C to USB-C cable for connecting mobile devices like MacBooks, tablets, phones directly to the monitor. And within bag number 2, we have a mini HDMI to full-size HDMI cable for connecting consoles or other dedicated HDMI devices to the mini HDMI port. A USB-A to USB-C cable for dedicated power to the monitor if your USB-C ports do not supply enough power to power the monitor and display at the same time. But now for a quick overview of the physical build of the monitor itself. It's really nice that it comes with this smart cover. It's magnetic, it keeps in place really well, covers the front and back, has a Kyy logo right here. And so again, it magnetically attaches to the monitor. The monitor itself has a very flat back finish. Unfortunately, no method of mounting this is included. It's understandable given the really thin form factor, but do be aware of that if you had planned on trying to mount this anywhere. But as you can see, the monitor itself is nice and thin. Comes in about the size of my pinky in thickness with the cover attached. Also comes shipped in with a nice screen protector to keep everything safe. I've actually kept this attached for most of my review period just to make sure we can show off this monitor in its most pristine form possible. So again, very light, has a matte finish on the screen, which is great for reducing glare if you're on the go. Minimal bezels, it looks really nice and clean. The Kyy logo isn't too obstructive here. For ports on one side, we again have Mini HDMI, try to get this at a better angle here. There we go. We've got Mini HDMI and 2 USB-C ports. And then on the other side, we've got a power switch, volume rocker / selection menu switch thing here, along with the 3.5 millimeter jack. And again, both sides also have built-in 1-watt speakers. Now, because this is thinner, it can be bent if you're not cautious with it, which is another reason why this smart screen being included is a really nice touch. Adds a nice level of protection to the whole unit, and just makes it a lot cleaner to look at while traveling and moving about. But to use this built-in stand is really simple. Just flip it up, and then it neatly slots into either of these grooves, depending on the viewing angle that you want. And then if you're using the first viewing angle, you could again flip the screen over to further secure the way the monitor handles. So while I suspect that horizontal viewing is how most people will use this monitor, it can also be used in a vertical stand position. You do need to be careful with this though, as to not hit the volume rocker down here too much or the power switch, but it can again stand in a vertical position with the included cover mount. Getting the K3 set up for use is again very simple. If you have a USB-C capable device, just plug the USB-C cable into your device itself and then into the USB-C port on the K3 monitor. And if your device has enough power to power the display, it'll boot right up and show up exactly as so, nice and easy. So this is now defaulted to my ROG Ally's main monitor. Now I know my top-down camera here isn't going to display the full quality this screen is actually displaying at, so going to be overlaying some stills of different games to hopefully get across the clarity a bit better. So while direct USB-C to USB-C is an option, it's not the greatest option for some use cases. And so in these ones, getting a USB-C dock with HDMI output is definitely preferable. So for example, with the ROG Ally here, you can simply attach this dock, plug in the USB-A to C cable here so we can power the monitor. And then plug in the Mini HDMI cable to Mini HDMI slot here. And now I could use things like external controllers and all that along with the bigger display. And as you can see with the displays duplicated here between the ROG Ally and the K3, the response rate between the two is very similar. So it makes it really nice. Don't have to worry about input latency being a big problem. Response rate is really good. And the 60 Hz refresh rate is definitely working well. I haven't noticed anything egregious in terms of ghosting or anything like that during my playtime. Now, if you're playing on consoles, that Mini HDMI input port with the HDMI to Mini HDMI is going to be your best friend. So hooking up consoles like the Xbox Series S, X, PlayStation 5, any older consoles is going to work without a hitch. They load right up. You just need to supply external power since the Mini HDMI port is not going to be doing that. And again, the included USB-A to USB-C cable will do that. And if you need to use the dedicated power brick, that is an available option. But now let's touch on some quick features of the monitor that are really nice. So with the slider on the side here, you can push this up to quickly adjust volume levels on the included 1-watt speakers or output to the 3.5mm jack. So 1-watt speakers can get pretty loud. They have decent clarity to them. Not much in the way of bass as expected, but they don't sound overly hollow, which is really nice. So, I mean, just take a quick listen to some Castlevania real quick. Sounds pretty good. Not too shabby. But we're going to go ahead and lower that back down real quick. Now, pulling down on the switch here, we can adjust the monitor's brightness. This is it at 100%. As you can see, it's not the brightest screen in the world, but with its rating of 300 CD/M2, it's about what I expected. It's not terrible, and it works well enough in moderately lit environments. But of course, you can lower and brighten this as you see fit. So if you bring it all the way down, it's a much darker display. I know my camera's not showing that up as well as it should, unfortunately. Raising the brightness does help, and it hasn't washed out colors, which has been nice. But clicking in on the volume rocker brings up our traditional OSD, so we can further adjust brightness and contrast, as well as black levels, which is really nice. Really fine-tune this monitor to give you a better representation. Or if you really want to wash things out, you can increase the black level. It does help with brightness, but again, you're going to get more grays than blacks. But default calibration on this monitor has actually been pretty nice. It's not perfect, but for what you're getting for this price, it's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. But at any point, to back out of any submenu, you just press the power button, and then you could go ahead and use the rocker wheel to navigate, and then push it into select. But the monitor does have a number of presets you can cycle between, and you can even adjust the aspect ratio between 16:9 and 4:3 if you need to do so manually. The K3 also offers red, green, blue manipulation, so you could further fine-tune the colors here, as well as select color temperature presets. And then, of course, you could change between signal sources of HDMI, USB-C manually, so you can have multiple things hooked up at once and easily change between them. And then there's also a blue light filter available, as well as an HDR mode, so this lets you choose between having it off or setting the monitor to accept HDR 2084 signals. So I mean, it's not really true HDR, more than a way to kind of tone map HDR to the display. It's not bright enough for true HDR, but being able to accept those signals and have them display more properly is always a plus. But overall, I have been very happy with the image quality that is on display here. Default calibration is again pretty solid, being a 15.6 inch screen at 1080p gives it really great pixel density. You can see super sharp image clarity in this. Image response has also been really nice. Haven't noticed any really egregious ghosting. I have had no issues in shooters or other games that I've put on display here. And the viewing angles have been really good. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the downfalls of the Kyy K3 here. The first of which being display colors. So while it gets the job done, looks nice enough, it does only hit like 73% of the NTSC color gamut. So if color accuracy and quality is your main focus on what you're looking for out of a portable monitor, this isn't going to do that for you. This is a it gets the job done type of a situation. If you need the best color clarity, you're going to be wanting to look for something that is like a portable OLED, because this just isn't going to do it. And black levels, while acceptable, again, will not meet those perfect blacks that a portable OLED can get you. This is more of a casual, I just need a second monitor that will get the job done while I'm on the go type of approach, and again, it works well in that regard. The other shortcoming is, of course, audio. It's got two built-in 1-watt speakers. They get the job done. No real bass, but they don't sound tinny and hollow, which is good, but they're not going to give you just the satisfaction of a good sound system. So I definitely recommend having a headset or earbuds on hand while using this monitor while you're on the go. And my last real nitpick for this thing is that it uses mini HDMI instead of full-sized HDMI. Mini HDMI definitely makes it a little bit harder to use in case you lose the included cable. But again, that's more of a nitpick on my end. But after a month of usage, I can confidently say I have really enjoyed my time with the Kyy K3. It has done well. Playing games on it has been superb. Watching movies and TV on it have also worked really well. And for being out and about and using it as a travel display, it has held up very well. But the offset is that the color representation will not be the most accurate at only 73% NTSC, and being an IPS screen, the black levels will also not be represented as well as something like a portable OLED, so maybe not the best monitor for creators looking for something to use in their travels. And again, the brightness is just relatively low overall, but it does get the job done. But if you are in the market for a quick portable monitor that will get the job done, the Kyy K3 is a good one to look at. It normally retails for around $129.99, but as of posting this video, it is on sale for $69.99, making it a pretty good steal for a 1080p portable monitor. I will have a link down to the Amazon listing below if you'd like to check it out. Affiliate links also help support our channel and keep it going, thus bringing more content like this to all of you. But we're going to go ahead and call it here for the Kyy K3 monitor. Thank you so much to Kyy for sending it our way to test out and share with everybody. And thank you all for watching. I hope you have found this informative. But here at the end, just the usual favors. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, thumbs down, depending on how much you like today's review, as well as hitting that sub button and notification bell so you can see when new videos go live on the channel. Every little bit helps keep us going, and I am very grateful to all of our current backers for believing in what we do here and helping us keep it going for so long. You are incredible champions. Thank you so very much. But until next time, my wonderful internet peeps, you all stay awesome, keep on gaming, and we'll see you back next video.